It's time for KCYF News, coming to you from Disciples Crossing in Athens, Texas. Now, it's time for KCYF News.
Welcome back to KCYF News. I'm Candace Land.
And I'm Scott Agores. As we all know, Barbara Wawa retired last year.
Fortunately, we were able to get Orpah Winfri to come into the studio today.
Welcome, Orpah.
Hello!
So, what do you have for us today, Orpah?
Well, I have 3 interviews. The first of which is with our keynoter, Owen Chandler. Let's take a look.
Thank you for taking some time for KCYF, Owen. Let's start by talking about your home life. What was it like at your house?
Well, it is a mythical place.
That really isn't that descriptive. Wait, what are you doing with your hands? Could you not do that, please? It's very awkward.
We're really about maturity.
Speaking of mature, what is your favorite childish thing to do?
Oh, that's easy.
Glad to hear it.
Right now it's that wet willy thing. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. I really feel like that adds a touch of class that I do believe Jesus would appreciate. So.
That is fun. Let's get a little more serious. When you were younger, it's been said that you lived a life of crime. Could you tell me a little bit more about that?
There are things to do in Kentucky that really aren't legal in most states.
What led you to joining a life of crime?
My parents didn't really care about us.
That will do it. I thought I'd asked you not to do that, Owen. Let's get back to the crime. So, you would commit crimes all over the state?
Typically.
But you wouldn't commit murder. What did you say when the gang asked you to do such a thing?
Pass.
Short and sweet. Now, what caused you to pass on the murders?
I don't like the sticky things on my hands, and I feel like it would get on my face. I don't like sticky things on my face either.
Do you ever still think about the life of crime that you left behind?
It would cause an itch that I couldn't scratch anymore, and so I just kind of got cold turkey. It's better for my family that way, and I feel like it's better for my relationship with God that way.
I understand. Does your wife know about your criminal past?
That is an issue between the wife and I, and so hopefully she won't be watching the news tonight.
Any other thoughts about your criminal past?
Yeah, I just want to tear up talking about it, and I'd like to switch subjects if we could.
Sure. What is one thing that everyone should know about Kentucky?
That the food only comes in 2 colors, either yellow or brown.
They did not mention that in the brochure. Finally, one last question. You have an unhealthy obsession with Justin Bieber. Why?
You know, I think it starts with his presence. It's calm, it's inviting. I feel like that there is a wisdom behind his eyes that says, A, that he loves God, but it also says that he's there to care. And I think that many of us have really found a source of wisdom, just being able to converse with him, and that's appreciated. So, yeah.
I agree. Thank you for your time, Owen.
Welcome back to KCYF.
Our next interview is with worship leader Michelle Harvick.
Thank you for joining us, Michelle. Now, I know that you knew that we were going to ask you this question, so let's just get it out of the way. I heard that you are dating someone famous. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely.
So who is it? We're all excited to hear.
Colin Firth.
Really? The Oscar winner? Exciting.
I know he's kind of older.
No. He's fine. You go, girl. Now, what can you tell us about him?
He was very cuddly and sweet, and he was my favorite pet.
I did not know that about him. Now, let's talk a little bit about your role at camp. What's your favorite part of Athens, Texas?
That's a tricky question.
Well, what is something you like here at camp?
I like ice cream.
Is there anything else you've enjoyed about camp?
That's it.
Well, what could we do to make camp better?
Something fun.
Is there nothing at camp you really want to do?
I would like to sit on my porch and play fiddle.
Well, that sounds fun too. We hear that you have some amazing dance moves. Could you show us some of those? Is that the whole dance?
That's it.
Okay, I guess we got some wrong info. What is the favorite fact about yourself? It says here that you owned a little farm?
I know, I had a little farm.
Well, tell us about it. What did you do on your little farm?
I used to line up all my stuffed animals.
Wait, the animals on your farm were stuffed?
Hermit crabs, and some hamsters, and some fish.
Okay, those are some strange stuffed animals. Is there anything else that you would like the camp to know?
That's it.
All right, intriguing. Thank you for joining us, Michelle.
Welcome back to KCYF News.
Let's go to Monkey on our last tip on how to beat the heat.
Our final tip on beating the heat. Jason Terry, did losing to the Heat in 2006 help you overcome them this year?
Personally, for me going into the series, I did not want to use that as motivation, but in the back of our minds, you know, as a competitor, that definitely was what I was thinking about. And then in the last closing minutes, as we were trying to close them out on their court, what they did to us in Game 6, closing us out, it was like, man, clock, tick, tick, and it was moving slow, but we did not want to let them back in the game by any means. There was not going to be a Game 7.
That says it all. Now we truly know how to beat the Heat.
Welcome back to KCYF News.
Our next interview was with music leader David Christman.
Thanks for joining us, David. First question. I understand you had a dream about me. Care to tell us about it?
You are a captain of a ship,
Cool.
even though it's broken into the shop right now.
Okay. Weird. Moving on. I understand you invented a new game, Poop Scoop. Would you care to elaborate on that?
I really didn't participate in the game. I just chunked it at people while they weren't looking.
Gross. How was this game popular?
It was the game to play in college.
Let's move on. I noticed that you haven't partaken in any of the camp food all week. What happened? Is there something that happened in the past that keeps you from eating the camp food?
I went blind for 2 weeks.
That isn't fun. I understand you want to own a giant farm. Why is that?
Just to have all the barnyard animals around.
That's neat. Any animals in particular you want around?
I've never interacted with a giant cat.
Why would you want to?
Because they're just ginormous cats.
Okay.
There's plenty of giant dogs, but that's not as interesting as a giant cat.
Who at this camp do you think would be most capable of taking on a giant cat?
And Bruce.
I agree. Now, finally, Owen shared some of his love for Justin Bieber. Why do you have Bieber fever?
I have no idea. That kid's just got smooth moves. I think it's the hair. I think he's like Samson, like reverse Samson. Like he's off. The shorter his hair is, the more awesome he is.
So you didn't mind the new cut then? Very interesting. So, if you could spend one day with Justin Bieber, what would you do?
Camp out on the top of the mountain together.
Thank you for your time, David.
Welcome back to KCYF News.
I hear Professor Mustard has another clue. Let's take a look.
Thanks, guys. I have indeed found a third clue, and I've been thinking, after a night of thinking and your help, I can finally solve this. Let's look at this clue. As you can see, it's our blue paw print, and it appears to be some sort of web. I'm not sure really what to do with these. Well, as you can see, it's a web of some kind, and there are bugs trapped in this web. Some sort of violent encroachment going on here. I'm not sure of what to make of this. I need your help, guys, so we can solve this mystery.
Thank you for tuning in to KCYF News. I'm Candace Land.
And I'm Scott O'Gories. Good night, Athens.
KCYF Jesus.
Woo!